Yeah. So if you're talking to someone and they use the term back in the day, then they quite clearly miss being allowed to hit children. And this might alarm some of the younger members of the crowd here, but there was a time with kids when you could just fucking kick one, you know? And then the other dad would turn up and say, oh, what's going on here? You say, well, your kid was being a little bastard, so I kicked him for you, you know? And he'd say, oh, thanks very much. You've saved me the bother, you know? Nice to meet you. What's your name? That sort of thing. But you know, people have gone a little mental over it. I was talking to a very proud mother once, and this kid has ambled past us, and she said, oh, that's one of mine. He's very clever. He's in the top something percentile of something, I don't know. He's so advanced that most people think he's 5 or 6, he's only 3. Then it had to be me to tell her that that's because most people are idiots and he's fat. You know, regardless, you can't really thrash kids anymore, can you? And this is, I mean, fair enough, I'm not for flogging kids, but to go from really beating them to nothing in one generation, some parents might find that a bit extreme, you know? A lot of us grew up thinking, oh, one day I'll be old enough to just take a thong off and smash it across the back of some kid's thighs at the shops, yeah. Can't do that now at all, no way. Yeah, and they know it too. I've got a couple of these and they are very trying. You know, whenever I used to see a man sitting in a parked car by himself, I used to think, oh, he's up to no good. You know, probably should be arrested, or at the very least, put on some sort of watch list of men who are about to do something shit, you know? Now, when I see a man sitting in a parked car, I just think, oh, there's another dad who needs a bit of a time out, you know? Before he just flips the fuck out and finds himself on the news being referred to as lone gunman. Well, I mean, I don't know if there are any other gun owners in the crowd. There should be. It's bloody heaps of harmless fun for you and the family. Get into it. Just get yourself a gun, shoot some stuff. It's awesome. But tip from the top, though, don't get a photo taken with your gun. That is stupid. I mean, when you do lose your mind, right, and we all will at some stage, do you want the front page of the paper to be a picture of you with your kids on a Ferris wheel eating rainbow paddle pops and just frolicking, having a bloody lovely time? Or do you want it to be you, shirtless, with a pair of stupid white-framed wraparound sunnies on your fat fucking neck facing the wrong way and two crisscrossed assault rifles in a pose that the legal profession call the unanimous decision, you know? And I don't want to get sanctimonious on how you commit your crimes too. That's none of my business. You can do that however you like. But if you want to get into crime, consider too that if you're one of these people who you want to malinger around a crime scene with a double-sized can of Mother Energy just dangling from your fingers, just swirling the dregs around sort of thing, you know, you're about to get asked by a cop what your middle name is, you know. And if your favourite drink is Mother or V or Red Bull or bourbon or a combination that involves any of those, then whatever you're being accused of, you fucking did it. So I kind of say, these people were dropping their kids off at my place for a play date, right? And they've done the usual, gave me a piece of paper, really long list of shit that their little miracles can't eat sort of thing. And then they've said, the little bloke, he's very clever. He's very advanced and he's just better than your kids. And he gets bored because he's like a little adult. He's not like a child. He's just so amazing. And when he gets bored, he acts out a bit. So if he's acting out, feel free to scold him a little bit. I thought, oh, hot diggity. Don't get a chance to do this very often, do you? So later on, as I was throwing a hot cup of tea in his face, I thought, oh, she's met the other scold, haven't they? And a lot of pressure on young girls to grow up quickly too, isn't there? Last year, my daughter was 5 and she's come home. Someone at school's got her into Barbie. And I thought, oh, no way is she old enough for this. I don't want part of that. But she was adamant she wanted one for Christmas. So I caved in because I'm a dickhead and I got her a Barbie for Christmas. And by Boxing Day, she'd figured out how to turn it on and burn her fucking hand. And, I thought I'd take the edge off a couple of puns by making them really violent. So I was dropping my kids off for a sleepover at these people's house, right? And they're only expecting one of them, but they got both. I'm not going to... Who in their right mind would drop one child off somewhere and take one home and deal with that shit? I don't know. That is useless. Dropping one of your children off at a sleepover and taking one home, that's like before you go in your house, wiping the dog shit off just one of your shoes. You know? So the next day, I've gone back to pick them up, and they've started chiding me over my parenting skills, as is their want. People love this. And they're like, oh, that was really irresponsible. Sent your kids over here yesterday with pyjamas that weren't fireproof. Our kids have got fireproof pyjamas. Your kids' pyjamas aren't fireproof. I said, have you two recently vacated your skulls? What are you talking about? I've just spent the last 2 weeks teaching my kids to put their cigarettes out before they go to bed. And then the next week I get them back at my house, because that's how sleepovers work. No one does that out of the goodness of their hearts, do they? Just take extra kids into your house. There's some sort of tally system. So I got them back at my house, and they've dropped them off. And you know, the first night I had them, I was out on the balcony setting off some of the fireworks I'd made. And one of them I lit up and it went sideways and turned into a really bad time. And, you know, neighbour's house was on fire and everything. But thankfully it was after midnight. All the kids were ready for bed in their pyjamas, so just used one of her kids to put it out. So gentlemen, there's a term that has been hijacked by perverts. I mean, I consider myself somewhat of a gentleman, so I went to a gentleman's club. I thought, I'll go down there and have some grammatically correct conversation with you. You know, maybe I'll swirl a brandy balloon around and smoke a cigar. This is going to be great. No. Evidently now, gentleman just means lonely deviant sitting in a dark room staring at a bunch of nude women whose dads never took them to netball. It's disgusting. Anyway, I'm going home. Thanks for having me.
Give it up for Luke Heggie.